Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Hisan Andez, the host of the Business Priestess podcast. And today I have a very special guest. His name is Murat Mamkegh. And so, Murat, I'm so excited to have you on the show. And please introduce yourself.
Thank you. As you already said, my name is Murat Mamkegh. As I understand, you have an interest in my background in martial arts. So I guess I'll start off with that most as it's most relevant. Um, I have been training in martial arts since I was 14. I'm 35 now, so I guess one can do the math. I'm sure that's somewhere in the ballpark range of 20 years, believe it or not. It kind of blows my mind. But in the time I've done so, I've really dabbled in a lot of different styles, but my main styles, I'll say, is Taekwondo is what I started out in my first 6 years of my training career, I guess one would say. And I have since been doing over 18 years, 15 to 18 years of mixed martial arts. Which is a rather umbrella term, and everyone can certainly define it how they wish. But it's what typically one would imagine with mixed martial arts, with uh, kickboxing, Muay Thai, submission grappling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and all the nine yards there, under what's typically referenced as MMA rules, as one might recognize in UFC. Though I will admit I'm not a cage fighter, I have trained with several different martial artists, including those who did compete in those areas. But I love to dabble in all different styles. I've done 2 years of Tai Chi Quan. I study weapon styles from various disciplines. I often train in foam tournaments, from sword fighting tournaments, just to hone my sparring skills with people from all different backgrounds. And overall, just love studying the philosophy and traditions of various martial arts backgrounds for the not just the physical attributes that come with it, but the self-cultivation and the mindset that comes with it as well. But yep, I'm Murat Mamkegh, and as my name might suggest, something of a unique background. I am Circassian from the Caucasus Mountains. That's where my people are originally from, and between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea in southern Russia. Though we are not ethnically Russian, we are Circassian, and that is a group of people that have indigenous people that have lived there before Russia had invaded in the 17th century and taken over. But our people live in diaspora in the Middle East and the United States, where I was born, first generation here. But in our culture, we do have a strong warrior mentality in our upbringing, and in it, there are many proverbs that lend to the same philosophies that I appreciate in martial arts disciplines of all different kinds. So I'm sorry if that was too long-winded of introduction. Hopefully that was relevant.
No, I loved it. Thank you for sharing. We actually have quite a few first generation immigrants on the show. So I'm actually an immigrant myself. I was born in South Korea. And I think we have a lot in common as far as like martial arts training, because my first martial arts as a child was Taekwondo, and I trained in that for, I would say, 4 years when I was younger. I started when I was 8, and it was like very old school though, old school Taekwondo. It wasn't the commercialized version because I
as
took
as
it
Olympic style Taekwondo. So,
like
what
it was
federation?
more old
Was it
school, like from
World Taekwondo Federation or was it ITF? I forget what ITF stands for.
I think it was even before any of those existed, but this is like my sensei was from, we don't even call them sensei. I can't remember what I called him, but he was like very old school.
Hmm.
He was like a really up there black belt from Korea. What I mean by old school is like he's very old traditioned like
Mm-hmm.
martial artist. So he was really high up in as a black belt, but the way he taught us was very old school.
Yeah.
So like
Wow.
for example, if we were in class and I was like 8 years old, but when we were in class, if somebody talked while he was talking or someone made a mistake, one of the kids, then all of us would have to do 100 push-ups.
Mhm.
And
The
yeah,
push-ups.
and so we ended up doing like hundreds of push-ups in just even before the warm-up started, because it was just during like the announcements when he was trying to explain what we were going to do that day, and if somebody was whispering and he caught them or somebody did something wrong, um we would end up doing hundreds of push-ups before the warm-ups even started. So and
Oh wow.
I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old, so I was like, oh man, and it was so hard for me. But and then one time there was a teacher and he would have never done this. Like my master would have never done this, but he had black belts teaching for him, and one of these guys was like a young adult, and he was like full of testosterone. He was teaching, and this girl in front of me was like yapping away while he was trying to like tell us things, and he got so angry that he told her to come to the front. She came to the front of the class and he just grabbed her by the hair and slammed her head against the wall.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is what I mean by old school. And then we all had to do 100 push-ups. So through that experience, like it was so hard, but literally that was why I was so good at push-ups. So by the time I got to my next martial arts, it was so easy for like in Muay Thai during the warm-ups, they make you do like lots of push-ups. Make you do jump rope and then push-ups and then planks. And the push-up part and the plank part didn't really bother me because since I was little, I've been doing like hundreds of push-ups. So that
Mm,
was so funny. But yeah, we're
wow.
gonna dive deep today about martial arts and how it has shaped our philosophy in life.
I would
So
hope.